it was awesome. So he's on board, and he's going to try and catch up with Sean and Drew in Boston next week. So keep you all posted.
Great connection.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Jeff, I might just throw it over to you in a second. Just for the rest of the crew on the road, I feel like most, if not, you would know Jeff very well, considering he's been involved in AIM since before a lot of us were born, and has done incredible things for the organisation, but more broadly as well for Indigenous people in many different ways, and then around the world as a incredibly well-renowned journalist. And he's also just an incredible human being, so supportive, generous, and kind of his time and support for what we're trying to do. And thought that considering the point in time that we're all involved in at the moment in AIM's growth, that having someone like Jeff talk about his involvement in AIM would give us a good perspective on the importance of what we're all doing, and how this has the potential to do some pretty incredible things. So, Jeff, I won't frame it too much for you. You know what you're doing. So take the stage and enjoy.
Thank you. I really wanted to share our excitement, not just yesterday, but as we've been watching you out there, because on the road as you are in such another place, I really can put myself in your shoes. Back in the end of 72, when I landed over there, I had no idea. I'd never been to America and at all. And my education about it really did not prepare me for what I was encountering. And I'm sure no matter how much or how many times you go there, it is an extraordinary place of extremes. I went to Wounded Knee at South Dakota early, the first year, 73 early. And when I met the Native American leaders of AIM, what they called the American Indian Movement, they'd forgotten the E, it actually changed my whole picture of the struggle. I could see First Peoples in America had no voice. They were struggling to kick down the same doors that we know about at home. And yet they were tactically very clever. They were trying to find a new language, a new way of getting attention, a new way of telling the federal government and the nation where they are. And it really was the light bulb moment for me to see it is a global human struggle for equality. And so I've carried that image of, crawling through the hills of the Black Hills of South Dakota to avoid the FBI, and going in with the cameraman and sitting with those Native Americans who were Oglala Sioux. And I think it made me see that there is great hope that what AIM is of value to people everywhere that have not had that opportunity, that can't sing their song, speak their language, or even shed the oppression that is still there in many places. In short, why I responded to Jack all those years ago when he shared his vision after putting his hand up at the back of a Sydney University lecture hall and informing me that he was already doing all that I was challenging those students to do, I've really seen it demonstrated that it is the most hopeful, transforming, long-term game that I can see. There is lots of things that are flashy and are there for a very short piece of this. But I think what you are building on the road is the relationship, and it's so infectious that you will meet those strangers like we're just hearing now, and they will open up a network for us all, and virtually everyone who comes on that road then behind you gets through the door, and you take down the barbed wire and all of the obstacles. That's how, as I watch you at work now, I know what you're doing. sometimes you'll feel you've just gone down a cul-de-sac, you know, like a dark alley, and there's nothing there that you can relate to. But you're going to have those surprising Americans. It is, for all of our movie view of it, as a broken, scary, you know, Blade Runner kind of society of the future, the best and brightest there will hear what you're saying. I know it. I married someone from there. I love her. My children, I want them to know as much about what is happening in those cities that you wander around. And, you know, while I lived there as a correspondent, I made it my work to get to every one of those states. I would find reason to go out, and I learned probably far more than I ever did at university by being on the road like you are. Yesterday, all of the board really wanted to send out to you their enthusiasm, their strength, and their belief that they know when you've got a hustle like you are, it's exhausting. And when you're still jet lagged for weeks and you're crossing a lot of country in America, it is really draining. But like you do at home, it's a beautiful land. And that great American architect, Frank Lloyd Wright, used to talk of the land being the masterpiece, the American masterpiece. And one particular place that stays in my mind, Canyon de Chelly, which is on Navajo land. Ever since I walked there, honestly, it's never gone out of my head or my heart. So I know what Frank Lloyd Wright was trying to say. So as well as the people you're meeting, check like you know, how do they get that water in the lake in Chicago to stay in the canals? And then you know, each city has some magic. There's a sound about it. The people is different in every place, and all of that deliciousness of difference will be part of the incredible experience you're having. You will, I think, just get deeper and deeper into the human family, and you think, what a beautiful mob, really, we all are. Crazy, we are, but what a beautiful thing. So keep going and make the connections. I know when we went to South Africa last year, it was the same feeling initially of, is anyone really going to know what we're talking about? And when you walk in, you know, one of the townships or Soweto on the National Youth Day, and you realise every kid that you actually have the time to sit with is in the same kind of place of yearning and longing and wanting something better to happen as the kids that I work with, you know, in the bush here, or for that matter, in the suburbs of Sydney. So no more from me. The board yesterday just wanted to send you love, strength, Christmas wishes. I don't know how long you're all staying. I hope it's an amazing, epic adventure, but more than that, you're carrying it now, so I wish you well.
Thanks.
Enough words from me, Sam. Let's hear what everyone else is doing.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Not only for the fact of you giving up another chunk of your very valuable time, considering you had a whole day.
Giving up nothing.
But being able to share that history and experience with the crew is really valuable. Did anyone on the line have any questions for Jeff?
I'd only tell you, yesterday the board formally approved the big vision for moving out in all of the complex ways that are in the build, you know, what we're building. There's no, you know, no division, there's no doubters, there's no one saying, no, I can't handle this, it's going to be too big. Everyone is just, yeah, let's do it. So, and that's what they wanted us to let you know, that we're with you.
That's awesome, Jeff. It's obviously really challenging at times, especially when you're coming up against the non-believers, to think that it's really easy to think that you're on your own. But to know that there's the backing of the board, the organisation, the history of what we've done, and the vision for where we're going is really powerful. We've had a couple of new people join. Viv and Tessa have just hit the ground in St. Louis. I'll throw it over to you in a second to give us an update. And then there's someone on the phone that we don't have a video for. Do you want to say hello?
I believe that's me. Yeah, my name is Ani Sanyal. I'm located in New York City, and I believe I am one of the newest mentors who's going to be joining all you guys on the trip.
Unreal. Ani, do you want to tell us a little bit about your story and how you've got to be on this call? It's unreal to have you here.
Sure. Definitely. I appreciate all you guys and all the efforts that you guys are making. Super excited to be able to be a part of something like this. Yeah, very quick background on myself. I am a son of immigrant parents from India. I've been living in the States. I was born in the States. And my life was essentially growing up as a hip hop kid, an outcast in America, and figuring all of it out. And so, I started a business when I was very young. When I was 16, I built a record label that took me around the world. And then during one of my international tours, I was diagnosed with end-stage kidney failure, which temporarily paused my entire life. And so that was 5 years ago. And since then, I've basically, rebuilt my life and kind of rebuilt everything around me, as well as kind of started to be more involved in the community around me and giving back and being, someone that can lend perspective and insight into struggle and strife and kind of how to get over all physical and mental limitations. And I was recommended to AIM by a couple friends of mine, Anthony Frazier and Holly Murkinson, who were like, "Do you want to go to Australia? We think you'd be great for this." And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but Australia sounds amazing. Please send me more information." And I've been speaking to Ella, and here I am today.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It's an unreal story, and one that will no doubt inspire so many more people as well when we get you together on that plane and over to the Festival of Mentoring. It's really, really cool to have you on board. Please stay on the line, and you, Jeff, as well, if you can, to hear what's going on with all the crew on the ground. So
absolutely.
Might just open it up. Viv and Tessa, do you want to kick us off? Tell us where you are, what's going on?
Hey. Howdy. It feels great to be on the ground and not just to be, I guess, a passive observer anymore. So we landed in the great state of Missouri yesterday, which is nicknamed the Show Me State. So I'm going to show you what we've been doing. We landed this morning, had to do a few bits and bobs like getting phones sorted and whatnot, but then we were chatting to the receptionists in our hotel last night about what we're doing, and one of the girls, Isabella, her eyes lit up. She unfortunately wanted to do it herself, but she's no longer a college student, but she knew the right guy. So this morning we met with a fella called Chris, and he gets it. His life story's exactly, I think, what we're looking for. He used to catch 2 buses to school. He'd be up at 5:30 every day. And he's a guy with the grit and determination that we're looking for. So that was super sweet.
He's already doing something similar. So for him to have the support of AIM, he was really stoked about that.
And then from there, we've just left a meeting with the director of international study at one of the HBCUs here in St. Louis. And again, her eyes kind of lit up and she got what we were trying to do. And so we're re-meeting with her tomorrow morning, and she's going to get together a group of the students who she thinks is up for it. So I guess in a sense there, they'll have that tick of university endorsement. And it's funny, like her mind, in a true kind of systems mind way, was just going straight to some of the problems down the road, like how do we get a bus? Which room are we going to run AIM in? And so that was sweet. And we've currently just crossed over into Illinois. So big ups for anyone else who's in the great state of Illinois at the moment. We're picking up our RV, which is going to be our mode of transport to get around the rest of St. Louis, and then we head into Tennessee and Alabama, hopefully. So it feels great. It feels good to be doing it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great to have you guys on the ground and hustling already. Team Snowflake, do you want to jump in? Where on the road are you?
We literally just pulled into Minneapolis. So after doing some digging, we decided that being that tribal colleges were closed in North Dakota, that we were going to book it to Minnesota and follow up some solid leads there. So this morning we turned the car around and have headed for Minneapolis. We stopped at a decent sized college on the way. We thought we were going to get the cops called on us at one point from one of the faculty staff who didn't like that we were chatting to students, but we managed to circumvent him and speak to a few good leads, which was really exciting. Now we got free sign-ups. Yeah, we got
such a scramble. Like, I don't even know.
Guys. So free Somali guys. From what Ree was saying, it's the biggest population of Somali people out of Somalia. So they're keen to work with the youth population there, which is really cool. And yeah, so now we're literally just pulling into Minnesota as we speak, and we're going to hopefully meet up with some applicants that are kind of closing in to the final stages of their application, and go and visit some of the contacts that Tom and Kalisha made while they were here last time. So good things ahead for Team Snowflake.
Awesome. Great work.
And we're excited to be in a place where it's not just meat on the menu, because being a vegetarian in South Dakota sucks.
I hope you find some good greens. Good.
Me too.
Well done with the flexibility and shifting the game plan, considering what you were seeing in front of you, team. That's really, really good. Jeff, sorry, I cut you off there.
No, I was going to say, just get into those corn fritters.
Keep rolling. Candice and Blake, do you want to jump in?
Yes. Okay, so we feel bad that we don't have a team name. So I chose it. We are Team Positive Vibes, okay? So we've had an amazing day. Like, we've had, honestly, I think our days started, like, the first day was a little rough. And yesterday was good. Today was remarkable. Like, so we started we decided that in the morning we're just going to go to campuses and try and look for students. And we started at Allen and Benedict College, and we bumped into these students who are actually studying social work. And they were like ideal candidates. Like, they were so eager. They were like, the reason they got into social work in the first place is to do the kind of work that AIM is doing, and, you know, to be able to help their community. So they were amazing. We gave them forms, and then the day just got better. We met with even more students that were really interested, and we actually met with sports management students, and they did not look like the kind of people that would want to engage with us, to be honest. So I said to Blake, let's go speak to them. And we did. And what an amazing opportunity it was. They were so open. They were like, listen, you know, if all we have to do is get to LA, that is like a walk in the park, you know, if it means that we get to help all these students. So the vibe was great. And then the cherry on top was we went to University of South Carolina State University. And we were asking someone for directions, just like a guy who looked like a lecturer. We were just like, hi, so could you just tell us how to get here? And he was like, oh, I just came from there. And Blake actually struck up a conversation. And we found out he actually worked at the university a couple of years ago, and he's moved to Kaplan. And in that conversation, he just kept on calling people. And he was like, I met these amazing people from Australia and South Africa, and they want to give this opportunity to students. And pretty much he just got us into this contact web. And before we knew it, I think we met four different faculty members who were all so intrigued. And then finally we ended up in a meeting with, who was he, Blake?
Dr. Luke.
Dr. Luke, who pretty much heads up student affairs. And we sat in this incredible meeting where he asked us every single question. And at the end, he actually thanked us because he said, you know, the university's been trying to have a mentorship program for a very long time. And this is the kind of thing they see incorporating into their university as a whole. He told us that he's already got great relationships with the schools around the area. So that shouldn't be a problem. They will give the students permission, and they will handpick 5 students to actually apply for the scholarship and help them with the entire process. So our day has been insane.
That's amazing.
I think you're definitely living up to your team name, Positive Vibes, as well. Well done. Well done. And it looks like you've got some nice long cabin to spend the night in. Keisha, Tom, Michelle, you want to jump in?
I'll just say something really quickly, and then Keisha's going to rip into today. So stoked to see the crew in Minneapolis. Definitely going to be flicking Kalisha a message back home. We've got some really solid leads that way, and a couple of unis there. Kalisha and I invested a lot of time and energy into UM. So get him over the line, please. That'd be awesome.
Talking about insane day, as you can tell by my frizzy hair. Well, the morning started off with me walking into a brick coffee shop looking thing, thinking it was a coffee shop, and walking into the security block, yes, in front of the college we were at. They told us no, we couldn't go in because it was a private college and we had to get interviews. Sorry, there's a do differently, read signs. But that didn't stop us. Tommy ended up running over to across the road to this student center. I saw a group of art students and I ran to them and started speaking to them, and they were sick. And then Michelle was in the car, talking to our expression of interest and also our applicants, seeing how they are, if they're still interested and what help they needed. End up being really good. We got some really good leads, and we end up meeting Ace. And Ace, wow.
He's Ace.
Yeah,
Ace
he's
is Ace.
fucking Ace.
Yeah.
We started speaking to him, and he pretty much spoke about how he loves the idea of the program and how he struggles with his identity because his father really tried to change himself coming over here to America. He was Arab, was it?
He was a refugee.
Refugee, yeah.
Yeah.
And he thought the only way to fit in was if he started being more white.
Yeah.
And so he lost a lot of his culture. So he's on a journey of trying to build that up, and he would love to work with the refugees and his area to really, show the importance of identity, I guess. So it was just amazing to meet him and really made our day. That's for sure. Definitely with someone that is on a similar, journey myself of trying to find out my identity. I guess, it was just something I really clicked with, and he was just an amazing person.
Yeah, it was like bouncing. We bounced from one student who gave us one tip of direction up to being told we couldn't even be on the campus, then into that building. We divided and conquered. From there, we managed to get a meeting lined up with someone pretty high up, and we're going to come back on Tuesday now that we've got that extra time and have that meeting. And then we went across to the diversity unit where we were directed to next. And we walked in there to meet the director, but it was actually the guy working on the desk who was the ace in place for us. So his story, you'll see as it goes through the application process. But Ace already established a program last year.
Yeah,
A group of students also to work with.
He piloted an internship program last year, and that's finished. So he was actually searching for something else to do in this next year, and he was like, "Whoa, who are you guys? You just come into my office and you've answered all my questions," and he was super excited.
And he wants to establish a program to work with refugees in Colorado Springs, which is a resettlement center. So he has a clear vision of how he wants to do this.
He's got his group ready.
And he is definitely ready to get on the plane as soon as he hands in the paper that he's writing at the moment. So we're meeting with him again on Monday in Denver before he flies home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Damasco out.
Sounds like you guys are not taking no for an answer as well when it comes to university staff. So keep bashing down those doors. Team Louisiana, you look like you've recruited some friends in the car there. So please introduce yourselves. Tree, welcome back. Day 2. Good to see you again.
My name's Imani. I'm from here in Baton Rouge as well.
Tell us about yourself, Imani.
Well, I'm from here. I graduated from Southern. She is my childhood best friend, and I'm going to help her save lives.
Yeah.
Drew, what's going on there, bro?
Tree's leading this one, brother.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And so today we got to go to our meeting with Southern, and we killed it. We got them to agree to move forward with us, and they will pick the students for us. They said everything was gonna be okay. They agreed to give us 200 students, and I mean, what was it? When we get the mentor, and so they're gonna give us the students, the 5 interns, and then Imani is gonna be one of my interns, and they're gonna like pick the interns for us because I feel like they would know who better to pick. You know, like I don't wanna pick the wrong people. You know, I wanna have good candidates, and so I'm excited about that. And we closed everything, and they want to move forward, and they telling us that after the 2nd in January, the 3rd in January, the lady will be back and she'll be ready to move forward with that.
Boom.
Bam.
Jeff, just for a bit of background, Brendan and Drew and Will met Tree, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And it sounds like the program is all planned out now.
Jesus.
Yeah, Sam, picking up on what you were just describing, how you did it is a good recipe, because we found around South Africa that when we met someone at the student level, lots of listening, lots of connection. But then how do you know who's going to have all of the strength and keep it going? When we found someone in the university that said, my God, we've got 4 of the poorest townships alongside the University of Pretoria, boom. That man believed, listening to the Aboriginal fella who was talking to him eyeball to eyeball. It was amazing. So it's not only that first person, you're absolutely onto something there. Sometimes it's that other person, because, when you get to getting the passports organized and all of that stuff, that extra guy can really make it move fast for you. I think that's a good, sometimes the individual can do it all on their own, but sometimes it might be that older person who knows. I know of 6 people who are just, women and men who are made for this. What you outlined is a good recipe, a good approach.
Thank you.
Making it happen, Tree. It's inspiring. Shawnee and Ryan, I think, are you still on there? Have you dropped off? John, any updates from your work in New York City, bro?
Currently, I've been super swamped with work. That's why I haven't seen your beautiful faces in such a long time. My apologies. Some good news and bad news. I had the basketball head coach that I told you about, and A. Philip Randolph. He can't come because he has to be back in this New York City by the 23rd. But the good thing is that I have a lead which is amazing, through my fraternity network. We'll be able to kind of get our network of high schools going. So I have a head start in the high schools through a program called PAL, which is helping inner city communities through the help of the NYPD. So that's going to be good. I was actually talking to Ella about it. Like, the hardest part that I'm seeing is probably not so much getting our hooded scholars, but after the hooded scholars, when they come back to the States, is like where they're going to go. It's super hard to kind of get that ground moving when you have like all these amazing resources that you learned, and then like you're like, shit, where can I use all this power? So that's where I've been trying to hone in on as much as I can, because I know, and I could imagine for you guys, driving around to different campuses is very hard to find students on campus, especially now at the end of the year with the holidays. So I'm trying to work in reverse, But I'm super excited because now that at the end of the year, I have some more free time to start reaching out and locking in some high schools and at least other like alleyways that we can and canals that we can work into to get some people on board. That way, when I do get, our 5 to 10 hooded scholars from the tri-state area, they'll have somewhere to just plant ground and ready to go.
Unreal, John. Don't do too much of their work for them, mate.
Hey man, you gotta make sure our squad is good,
No, all good, all good. Shawnee and Ryan, are you there? Want to give us a Chicago update?
Yo, how are you, brother? Yeah, today we went to DePaul University, and we met with a lady who looked like she was already mentally at her Christmas lunch. So she gave us absolutely donuts. So that was exciting. And then we went to Columbia College in Chicago where we wowed the crowd, mate. There was fireworks going off. It was all happening. We had a guy who was doubting us and then played the Cogs video and then just gave him the JMB 312, said how we're giving this all away for free, said everything. And then, yeah, basically the whole office was in there. They were trying to figure out how they were going to get the students on campus for us to pitch them, but we're just going to give them the template email to send out. Well, we're just down now in South Chicago. We thought we'd go check out the suburbs and where we think this would be best fit. So we've just been driving through, I guess, the most, I don't know if you call it dangerous or the most famous, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to offend anyone, but yeah, we're just driving through the suburbs that need the most help here in Chicago. So yeah, we've seen quite a few interesting things in the last 15 minutes. Driving through here. So I'll throw it over to Ryan because today is Ryan's last day, so he wants to say a little something.
Hi everyone. So yeah, today was my last full day here in America because I'm heading out tomorrow at about 3 o'clock from Chicago. So I'm not going to get the chance to jump in on tomorrow's call. So I just wanted to sort of thank everyone and just let you know that I'm super happy and proud that I've been a part of this in America. And listening into you guys every day and hearing the inspiration and the stories that are coming out from other parts of the country, it's been super motivational and inspirational. So it's definitely something that I've never done before. I never thought I'd ever do anything like this. It's really opened up my eyes a lot to helping the world. So yeah, I just like to thank everyone for providing some good vibes and some good direction as well. And yeah, I'm thankful for the opportunity. So yeah, hopefully we can do this again sometime in the future because it's been a ball.
Great work.
Awesome, Ryan. Thank you for being a part of it, mate, and for putting your heart and soul into every interaction that you've had. And this is really just the start of it all, mate. As you know, these relationships take time and effort and energy to grow and develop and foster. And you're going to be a part of that as well, which is really exciting for us.
Yeah,
unreal. We might go from one Abertangelo brother to another. Ben, you've just landed, mate. It's obviously been. Oh, are you still there? You've got that incredible focus in your eye.
Yeah, I am. I think I'm running for my plane to get through customs.
That you sent on Slack from when you were in the plane. You have perfected that focus. Oh, there we go. Mate, how are you feeling, brother? What does this mean to you? Give us a little bit and then we'll wrap it up for the meeting.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped. I hopefully a bit of a second win for the crew that have been going hard on the ground, and if I can carry half of Ryan's energy with Shawnee for the rest of the trip, then I'll be proud of myself. But yeah, it's cool to see other people on the call and see the applications come through, people getting selected and whatnot. So there's a couple more weeks, and just looking forward to making the most of the opportunity on the ground, Sammy, and trying to unearth a couple of those diamonds in the rough, my man. Now I'm going to run for this plane, so I'm going to love yous and leave yous.
Well, I hope you get the plane. Jeff, thanks again for joining us and sharing that wisdom and experience and also support for the whole crew out there as well.
Thanks, Sam.
Awesome to see you all, guys. Keep the energy high. Keep looking after each other. And we'll chat to you tomorrow.
Keep it rolling, everyone.
See ya.
Later, y'all.
Bye.
Jorgs, you still there, man?
I am.
Can I just ask a quick question of you while you're on the call?
Yeah. Do you want me to keep recording, or is this off the
No,
record?
this is a simple question, so you don't need to keep recording. Yeah.
Hold on.